Hello everybody, I'm Brainy Diode and I am back with another episode of Nier Automata. Last time we reunited a machine child with its mother and helped out the wandering couple yet again. And this time we will be crossing the bridge to the commercial facility and heading through it into the Forest Kingdom at long last. And I did see that we got an update to the wandering couple, so after we
This
finished...
must be the commercial structure Pascal was talking about. The records say it was once a facility known as a shopping center.
After we finish in the forest, we'll probably check on the wandering couple, because I happen to know that there is a side quest that will activate around that time and deactivate very shortly after. So
no getting through here.
Maybe there's some kind of mechanism we could engage?
So we will want to
If we were
do
human,
side quests then.
we probably would have gone shopping and such here, right?
More meaningless conjecture.
You're so serious, 2B. You know that?
Alert. Multiple machine life forms detected above our position.
All hail the Forest King! All hail the Forest King!
Who the heck is the Forest King?
You're getting distracted.
Well, what do you expect? I'm a scanner. Combat was never meant to be my forte.
So here we are getting attacked right off the bat by some not pushover enemies either. The Forest Kingdom coming up, as I'm sure you will soon see, has a lot of big groups of enemies, and they aren't exactly easy to take out. So we might be having a couple deaths here and there in the near future. Hopefully not quite yet. I would like to survive this fight. I'm sure I've mentioned this already, but it is a little bit frustrating
Check this
that...
guy. He's just running away.
It is a little bit frustrating that once you defeat an enemy, the auto-targeting doesn't switch you to the nearest enemy automatically. It's just a bit of a bother. It's not terrible though. Oh, I thought we could just let this guy run away. We do actually have to fight him though.
It's going to explode! Huh? Hey, where am I?
What's that?
Hey there, guys. What's up?
This thing's weird, 2B. Let's kill it.
Wait, what? No! Good idea. No!
Okay, what was that?
Well, whatever it was, it opened up a route through to the Forest Kingdom,
Looks
so
like the forest is just ahead.
I guess we owe it one. If you are familiar with some of the other work of Yoko Taro, the director of this game, you probably recognize that face. I'll let this cutscene play.
Aim for the enemy androids! Engage battle mode! Now fight for your king!
Here they come. Better keep your guard up.
I'm aware of how to fight. You just be careful.
I will, 2B.
As I was saying, if you're familiar with some of Yoko Taro's other work, then you probably recognize that face. If not, then, well, if you have the game, you will probably know that face as the logo on the... I'm losing my words. I apologize. If you have the game on a PC, you will probably notice that, or not necessarily a PC, but a computer, you'll probably notice that that face is the face that...
These machines.
They were talking about a king, right? I saw what looked to be a castle further in. Maybe we should take a look.
That is the face that appears on the game shortcut, is what I was trying to say. If you are familiar with the face in neither of those ways, these are some animals that are going to come kill us, which is not strictly relevant to what I was saying before, but don't get killed by those animals if you want to live. Anyway, if you're not familiar with that face in either of those ways, we will become familiar with that face shortly after the Forest Kingdom. So, for the time being, I will leave it at that, because we have bigger and more urgent matters to worry about in the meantime. Namely that, holy cow, there are a lot of animals here. Animals can be really tough to beat in this game. Holy cow, there are a lot of enemies shortly in front of us. This group of enemies can be particularly hard to beat.
What is with these guys?
Don't listen to what they're saying, 2B.
Thankfully, the majority of these enemies aren't level 20 like the guys we ran into at the very entrance. Presumably these are trainees and those were guards, which would make sense. But what they lack in strength, they make up for in sheer numbers, because there sure are a lot of them. That's kind of a theme you'll see in the Forest Kingdom. Like I said before, enemies typically tend to come in groups of 6 or more. Which is nice if you want to level up like we just did, but not nice if you want to get through things quickly. Most of them are lower leveled, but this guy, however, is not. And he is being a bit of a coward after telling all of his subordinates to not fight back. He's just running away from us. What a lame freaking leader. I don't like him. We do, however, seem to be making fairly quick work of most of these guys. You'll notice that a lot of machines in specific areas have designs that differ from the norm. For example, most of the machines that we saw back in the desert were wearing masks of some sort. A lot of these machines that you'll see here in the forest are wearing
How are we
armor.
supposed to reach that castle?
So this is our ultimate destination. I don't believe you can actually go through this way, so I have led you astray. Whoops. We're gonna have to figure out another way through. Should be pretty easy. Anyway, it's a nice little touch that a lot of the machines in different areas have slightly different designs to differentiate themselves from each other. I'm going to try to avoid going into that big group of enemies that you can see on the mini-map there, but we might have to make it through here. Yeah, it doesn't look like you... Or can you go this way? No, you can't. This is not a way to go either, so... Either we're going to have to swing way wide around that group, or we're going to have to fight our way through.
Ready, aim, thrust. Okay, next. Put your back into it.
Looks like we are fighting our way through.
Get in formation now. Take position. Keep going. Don't be afraid.
These guys must have been through some more advanced training because they are back up at the level of the guys we saw at the entrance. But thankfully, there are significantly less of them, so it's a bit less to worry about. Stop attacking and let me grab this chip. Alright, so unlike the leader of the other group, this guy will attack us, especially after all of his subordinates have gone down. There's another chip on the ground. I would recommend grabbing as many chips as possible, because you never know when you're going to get something really good. While we are in an area where we recently leveled up, and we seem to be at a point where we're leveling up a lot, I would like to address another slight frustration about the game, which is the EXP gauge. You may have noticed already that the EXP gauge always stays pretty close to the right edge, which is typically where it's going to be when you level up. For some reason, and I cannot figure out why anyone would have thought this was a good idea, but for some reason...
So those machines had a king? But how can a concept like loyalty be understood by a machine?
9S, I think you have some really outdated ideas about what machines are and aren't capable of. Like, I would have hoped that this adventure would have shown you that we really don't have a clear understanding of machines at all. Anyway, as I was saying, as we are about to fight a mini-boss, slight spoilers, but not really. Uh-oh, there's some birds. So here's a Goliath unit. This guy is pretty obnoxious to take out. But while I'm fighting him, I'll talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about earlier. This guy has shockwaves. That's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is that the EXP gauge is incredibly obnoxious because, for some reason, what the bar you're seeing there is not the amount of EXP you've collected since the last level, since your last level up. It is the amount of EXP you've collected for the entire game. Why on earth anyone thought that was a good way to do it, I will never be able to understand. But once you get to pretty high levels, much higher than we are at now even, it becomes very difficult to tell how close you are to a level up, which can be kind of obnoxious at times. Speaking of kind of obnoxious, this boss has killed me a lot previously, so I hope I don't die. I might. As you can probably tell, I'm not exactly the greatest at dodging these shockwaves, because this game was not built for platforming. And also he has this attack where he charges at you. It's kind of an interesting, funny little thing. And we've aggroed the boar, haven't we? That's bad. As much as I've talked about how hard this Goliath unit is to beat, the animals in this game, holy cow, are they hard to take out. But we did manage to take out this Goliath unit. So, onward into the castle it is. Please don't let this be the one I aggroed. Does not seem to care about us, so I guess we're doing alright. Got another access point that we can take back. Unlock some map information.
Yep, this looks like a king's castle, all right.
Now, the original plan was to make it through the forest up until we fought that boss that we fought back there. Mini-boss, rather. It's not really a full boss. Up until we fought that boss that we fought back there, and then break the episode apart there and explore the castle next time. But, seeing as we aren't even to 20 minutes yet, I think I'm gonna go ahead and not keep you in suspense and go through the castle. This will make this episode a little longer than the average I've been going for lately, but castle area itself shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes to make it through. So, this video isn't going to be like an hour long, or it shouldn't be. It's just going to be maybe half an hour, probably even less than 45 minutes, honestly. Probably a bit closer to 40. As you may be able to see, this castle is a bit more of a 2D level than we have been seeing recently. There's a little chest there if you find your way over that way. And let's head upwards,
Watch out for
onwards
hostile
and
enemies,
upwards.
2B. Roger that, 9...
Huh? Wait, what did you just say?
Roger that, 9S.
Wait, no, that's not what you said. You said 9s. Or at least something close to it.
Cut the chatter and engage the enemy.
Ah,
That moment would have been a lot cuter if we weren't in the middle of getting murdered when it happened. Come on, 2B, just call him 9s already. Got a little dude to fight here. He's really not causing us much trouble at all. Much less trouble than the room we fight him in would suggest.
Don't let them take anything else from us.
Guys, I'm not sure if you noticed, but you were the ones who attacked first. I mean, honestly, we just came in here to learn more about you, and then you started trying to murder us. It's very rude of you. And this is the part where we get surrounded. Thankfully, most of these guys don't have ranged attacks to use against us, so it's less dangerous than it could be, but it's still rather obnoxious to, you know, be surrounded. Never a strategic high point. That was a bit of a beat up. I'm sure you figured it out by now, but I feel the need to mention it just one more time. This game's soundtrack is really cool. I really like the music in this part. If I remember correctly, this is the music that we heard back at the factory, so it's not our first time hearing this track. But man, it's pretty cool. And we've got a couple enemies trying to blend in with the statues there. But I picked them out among the crowd, mostly because they were on my mini-map, but, you know, let me feel cool, okay? Oh boy, this is going to be fun. And 3, 2, 1. It's one of these guys. Thankfully, we don't actually have to fight it. We can just run away like the cowards that we are. honestly, I don't think I've ever stood and fought, or stayed in place and fought that before, because really, it's hard enough to fight those enemies when you're not restricted to a 2D plane. This isn't even a 2D plane, it's just weird camera angles and stuff. Gotta be honest, I'm not too fond of this castle because sometimes making yourself move the way you want to with all these camera angles and controls being weird is just more frustrating than it really should be. Like this jump. That jump can be way more difficult than it really has any reason to be. We saw 9S didn't quite make it there. We were alright though. And gotta run away from this guy again. Not today, friend. He actually doesn't have a drill on his head this time, but I imagine he's probably still just as obnoxious. And here is an access point that we can take. And we are actually quite close to the boss of the castle, which this episode might even come... Oh.
We will protect the king with our very lives.
This episode might even come in under half an hour. Not by much, but it might. So, you know, maybe I'm not going back on what I said after all. This access point is rapidly switching itself on and off. There are a lot of enemies to fight in this room, though. I haven't seen the last couple times. I'm not sure what type of recovery I'm using at this point. I think I've probably run out of small recoveries, so I might be using medium recoveries now. And we're surrounded again. I don't like being surrounded. I think it's just this one guy on this side, though. Seems like it. Oh, now there's more. Oh, yep, I'm using medium recoveries. So you do start using medium recoveries once you run out of smalls. That's nice to know. There are still more enemies here? Yep, there's one left. There's more than one left. So it may seem at this point like these enemies are infinitely respawning, but they will eventually stop coming after us. So we're just gonna have to fight it out until they do. Hi there. Bye there. Alright, so we've got a nice decorative staircase leading up here. And everything's quiet. Our goal is just ahead of us. Oh, I can't turn the flashlight off. Let's keep the flashlight on. Our goal is just ahead of us, so I am going to go ahead and heal myself, almost to full health. I should buy more recoveries next time I'm at the Resistance Camp. I feel like I say I'm going to buy a lot of things at the Resistance Camp, but I don't. Anyway, let's see what's in this room. Presumably, it's the Forest King. So, let's meet this Forest King that we've heard so much about.
Is this their king? "2B, that's an android. A Yorha-type android.
Alert. This unit is currently wanted by Yorha. Annihilation recommended.
Annihilation? But why?
Let's go, 9S.
To be?
Bunker to 2B and 9S. We've picked up a signal from the black box of a fugitive known as A2. What you see in front of you is your enemy.
But she's...
She deserted us. She's destroyed multiple pursuit androids. Now kill her before she kills you.
Well, it seems that just like Adam, she won't attack us unless we attack her. Well, 9S is going to attack her for us. I was going to see if we could just run on past and not have to fight her, but 9S just had to go and ruin that. We probably would have had to fight her either way. Also, another thing I wanted to say. Well, if that was their king, it sure ain't anymore. A2 can be a little bit difficult to take out. You're gonna want to be careful in this fight, especially when she goes off screen like that. In most cases, it's your best bet to jump, because her going off screen means that she's probably going to run along the bottom just like that. Somehow teleporting from one side of the screen to the other, but that's neither here nor there. So, this battle can take a bit. As I'm sure you can tell, we're not exactly wearing her down the fastest, so we might actually be a bit over half an hour after all. Sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you can enjoy it, though. I hope you can enjoy it anyway, is what I meant to say. Jump! There we go. He's just all over the place, huh? Like the Yorha deserters that we fought earlier, it is a bit hard to tell her apart from ourselves, which just factors in to make this fight more difficult. But, you know, it's for a good reason. I mean, she is a Yorha unit after all. And, well, do I want to say that? I don't want to say that. Never mind. Forget I was about to say anything. We're fighting this robot, this android. We're fighting this android. We're definitely going to kill her, right, guys? See, I was talking weird because the truth is she's going to kill us. Yeah, I'm not doing hot in this fight, but
Why? Why did you betray us?
Command is the one that betrayed you.
Let's go after her, 2B.
yeah, she's gone. Fight's over. Let's drift down gently.
She's gone.
Operator, this is 9S. Patch me through to the commander.
Roger that, 9S.
I'm sorry, Commander. We failed to defeat the fugitive.
I see. Well, at least you're both safe. That's an incredibly powerful unit you just faced. You should probably keep your distance in the future.
Commander, why did A2 desert the Force?
I'm afraid that's classified.
Oh? Huh. 2B,
Yeah?
let's go ask Pascal about A2. He might know something.
All right.
Pascal? This is 9S.
Oh, you survived. How wonderful.
Yeah, we're fine. But there's something we want to ask you about.
Of course. Anything.
Actually, it needs to be in person.
Understood. I'll open the gate we built to deter enemy invaders. You'll be able to reach the village through there.
So, since this episode's a little tad bit on
That
the
must be
long
the gate
side
Pascal opened
anyway,
for us.
let's go ahead and talk to Pascal.
Been expecting you. Pascal told us about you. We will open the gate. Please pass through. We will continue to stand guard.
Let's go ahead and talk to Pascal before we end this episode off, because next time there is stuff that I want to do that I think might take a while, and I would prefer that it not be an extra long episode as well. Also, these are kind of hard to jump on because this game wasn't built for platforming. Seems to forget that from time to time, but oh well. Anyway, here we are, safely back in the village. And we've got some machines dressed up all nice up here. And Pascal should be right around the corner, yawned a bit there, sorry about that. Here's Pascal. Let's talk to him.
I'm surprised you wish to speak with me personally. Whatever is the matter?
It'll be faster if you just take a look at this recording.
Transfer the data.
I see. Information about this A2 android is indeed contained within our archives. We all understand her to be rather dangerous. However, she's never visited our village in person. My apologies. That's all the information I have.
I see. Alright, thanks.
Let's stay sharp and head back to the resistance camp. We should run a check on our consciousness data and resupply.
Well, we definitely should resupply at the resistance camp, but not quite yet. There is a side quest that opened up to us that I have never done before. The thing about this side quest is that once we go to the resistance camp, that will set us on a new quest line that will lead us to an area that we'll have to go to for this side quest for a completely different reason. I'm not sure how difficult it will be to get into that area and just take care of the side quest stuff and then get back out without doing the main story stuff. And we definitely don't want to do the main story stuff yet, because after we fight the next boss, that side quest will no longer be available to us. So we kind of have to take care of the side quest right now before we go to the resistance camp. So that's what we're going to be doing next episode. I will see you then.